Hello students, in this video we are going to cover our last topic, the impurity defect. In the previous video we have already covered the type of defect and for the further details about defects and how many type of they are, please go back to your previous video. So in case of impurity defect, as the term implies, when a pure solid have impurity of some other ion, then such kind of defect is called impurity defect. For example, suppose we have NaCl solid, and this NaCl solid will have sodium ion as well as chloride ion. Okay, so in case if it is NaCl, so there should be only sodium and chlorine. These are the chlorine ions and these are the sodium ions. Anyhow, if this sodium chloride or come in the contact with some other ion which have the higher valency than sodium, okay, do note it that such type of the defect only occur when there is a positive ion which have more valency than the present atom. Like here it is present that the atom present here is sodium and it have the valency of one positive ion. So the positive ion for the impurity defect must be that ion which have more positive charge than sodium. This can be any ion. The condition required is only this must have more positive charge as compared to the sodium. Now in this case we have taken, as our NCERT says, we have taken strontium, okay, Sr2 positive. Now if we take Sr2 positive and mix up with sodium chloride, then some sodium site will occupied by the Sr2 positive. Now what will happen in this case? Suppose if there is one sodium ion, then it required one chlorine atom. But if there is strontium ion, then it have two positive charge and that is why it required two chlorine ions. Okay, one strontium will require two chlorine ions. So if we drop strontium in place of sodium, then there always be a vacancy, and such type of the defect will term as impurity defect. Do one thing you also memorize that since the ion we add have more valency than the present atom, so the number of space generated will be always equal to the number of ions we have added. Okay, one site of the sodium is occupied by the strontium while the second site is vacant. Suppose if we have taken here aluminium 3 positive, then one site is occupied by the aluminium and aluminium has two more positive charge than sodium, so there will be two positive, oh sorry, there will be two vacant site. That are for the impurity defect. Remember that if NaCl is if strontium chloride is added with NaCl, then the effect generated will be impurity defect, and similarly if the cadmium chloride is added with AgCl, then the defect will be impurity defect. That's all with the impurity defect. The third is non-stoichiometric defect. Non-stoichiometric defect means in this defect the formula will be disturbed. Okay, what happens actually in this case, the formula of the compound will be disturbed. So let's assume our an ideal solid that A positive and B negative, A positive and B negative. So for the stoichiometric, non-stoichiometric defect, we divide it is the metal axis and metal difference. To focus on the metal axis. Now anyhow, if this solid come in the contact with any solid which have more positive charge or less ionization enthalpy as compared to this. Suppose if the sodium chloride is present and there are sodium vapor is also there is sodium vapor also present. Okay, sodium chloride, you have sodium chloride and also the sodium vapor. Similarly, if you have lithium chloride, you should have lithium vapor. If you have potassium chloride, you should have potassium vapor. Okay, the alkali metals and their vapor. Okay, anytime when there is an alkali salt and its vapor are present, then the defect is always metal axis defect or non-stoichiometric defect. In this case, we have taken sodium chloride and its vapor. Now suppose this is our solid. In this case, if this is our solid like NaCl and their vapor are also present. So what happens? In this case, if there is sodium vapor is also present, then the chlorine atom from this solid then the chlorine atom from this solid goes away with the sodium atom of the vapor. okay, and it released or it left its electron in the solid, okay. So such type of the defect will be metal axis defect, and in this case the negative center will be termed as F center. F stand for Fauvenger, and it means it impart color. Okay, कब होगा? You have remember that whenever then there is heating of alkali metal in the presence of alkali vapor, then there always will be a non-stoichiometric defect. Okay, क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? This always shows the color. Sometimes or any times if you got any question like lithium chloride gives this color or sodium chloride gives this color, so simple and short answer, because it have F center. The metal axis defect, when the oxide of the d block element are heated, then they shows the metal axis defect. बस इतना याद रखना है आपको. When the oxide of d block element is heated, then they shows the metal axis defect. Okay. Now we will move to the magnetic character. Recall from the class 11 कि मैग्नेटिक कैरेक्टर में क्या होता है कि इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है वो अपना न्यूक्लियस के सराउंडिंग में भी रिवॉल्व करता है एज वेल एज अपने एक्सिस पे भी स्पिन करता है, एंड एज पर द फिजिक्स कॉन्सेप्ट when an electron spin on its own axis, then it generates its magnetic character, and because of this spinning electron form the magnetic properties. If there is a group of ions in case of so in this case of ions, we have three type of magnetic character: ferromagnetism, ferrimagnetism, and antiferromagnetism. We do not talk about diamagnetism. All these three are the type of paramagnetism, and recall that diamagnetic element are those elements in which electrons are paired, while the paramagnetic element are those elements in which the electrons are unpaired. So as term indicate, in case of ferromagnetism, ferrimagnetism, and antiferromagnetism, the electron will be always unpaired. Now in case of ferromagnetism, if you find out the electronic configuration of chromium, then the last orbital will have 6 electron, and these all 6 electron if are arranged parallel, as you can see in the diagram, if these electrons are arranged in a parallel manner, then these will termed as ferromagnetism. Okay, if you get unpaired electron, and do note that you cannot assign that all the electrons are parallel or anti-parallel, so you have to memorize this, that in which case the electron will be parallel arranged or alternate arranged. So remember that chromium oxide always shows ferromagnetic character because the unpaired electron of chromium will be parallel to each other. Similar in case of ferrimagnetism, if you find out the electronic configuration of iron, so there will be 6 electron, but these 6 electron will be arranged in a different manner. Some electron will have spin upward or some electron will be have downward. You can say that some electron will have clockwise spin while the some electron will have anti-clockwise spin. But what is to be noted there, that plus and minus, that is clockwise spin and anti-clockwise spin, will not be equal to 0. Such type of the element will termed as ferrimagnetism. Iron is a good example in this case. And antiferromagnetism is shown by the copper. I didn't mention here, but in this case if you find out the electronic configuration of copper, then the arranged electron will have alternate clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise, anti-clockwise, so the resultant spin will be 0. If the resultant spin is 0, then the element is anti-ferro. If they are parallel, then it is ferro, and if they have non-equal to 0 anti-ferromagnetism, then these are termed as ferrimagnetism. आप यहाँ से एनसीईआरटी के सारे एग्जांपल्स को बहुत अच्छे से तैयार करेगा, बिकॉज ये एग्जांपल्स आपसे डायरेक्टली पूछे जा सकते हैं. सॉलिड स्टेट के सिलेबस में इतना ही है. जो कंडक्टर है अपने एन टाइप और पी टाइप वो सिलेबस में नहीं है. सो आउट ऑफ द सिलेबस थिंग्स हम लोग बाद में कवर